I would love to know your opinion about, maybe I don't know how to say that, maybe how to unleash the female power within.
Yes.
And what is your opinion and between on the differences between male and women, and yeah, how to succeed as a woman?
Okay. So it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. The When I approach, and by the way, the way that I build these stellar high performance sales team is nothing other than working with every individual human being to understand where they want to go, where they're at, and what's in the way, and determining the level of buy-in that they really have in what they say they want, and their willingness to really identify and work with the obstacles, right? So it's the same process all the way through. So historically, I have not made a distinction between male and female, and I've trained thousands of salespeople of both genders. So what I think the maybe the better question is, because when it comes right down to it, it's all about the human being being very, very clear about who they are and what is important to them. So it's not just what is the value I, Rhonda Anderson, can bring to you, right? But it's about what constitutes value to you, and is there a match, right? So, and will my bringing this value to you be of value to me?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what happens, so in looking at the differences between men and women, I think that what happens is that men tend to be quicker decision makers and more decisive, right? So when we talk about that, what really makes somebody powerful is the level of clarity about their goal, right? Their congruency in terms of lining up their words, thoughts, deeds, and actions behind it, and their level of commitment to hitting that goal. What all that requires is that other possibilities get closed off, right? Once I decide I'm going north, I cannot be going east, west, or south at the same time. And I think for men, it's easier to instantly make a decision and close off all the other avenues and just move forward.
Yeah, I see that in my couple.
Yes. And with women, we, whether it's genetic, whether it's societal, we tend to be more multifaceted, multitasking, and it is more difficult for us to
Focus.
shut off one line. So for example, you take your average, woman who's maybe she's married, maybe she has kids or she doesn't have kids, but in her world, the husband does not cease to exist, the laundry doesn't cease to exist, dinner doesn't cease to exist because I'm trying to hit this goal. My kids don't cease to exist. These things don't get closed off the way they can for men. And I'm not suggesting that men don't think about their wives or their laundry or all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we're sort of trained and possibly genetically different in that way. So it's a little bit more difficult for a woman to take the one target and only focus on that. And I think that the key to working with that, so staying inside the feminine power, and the key is always ride the horse in the direction it's going, right? Assume that whatever shows up is the route you're supposed to take. It is the best thing for the moment. It is always working for the best. So if I'm a woman that is having trouble sifting through the infinite possibilities to the one thing I want to focus on, then use those infinite possibilities to swirl around to what serves me the most in this moment, knowing that I'm not selecting against these other things,
I love
right?
that.
So it's the difference between decision and choice. Decision is, I'm going north, no south, east, or west. Choice is, south, east, and west still exist. I'm choosing to go north for now. So it's holding the decision or the choice more lightly. It's been such a male-dominated world for so long that the patterns for success tend to fall in that clear, decisive, clear, decisive, clear, decisive. And that's an important energy. And we've all agreed that clarity and having a single target is the seat of power, right? And then lining up behind it. But the way to get to that clarity isn't always closing off every other possibility. Sometimes it's just prioritizing them.
Yeah, and I love the fact maybe a lot of women try to do the same as men and struggles a lot
Yeah.
because it's more harder for them to focus on one way, and maybe they will be focused on one way after let them try more opportunities and follow what they want to do now. Maybe
Yes.
after they will be more focused.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm very happy to share that for women.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. I think it's helpful.
Yeah, it is. I think it is very helpful.
Yeah.
I believe a lot in the power of modelization to
Mhm.
to learn fast and quick. Do you think a woman have to follow and model
A model?
another woman, or she can, for example, Julie,
Mm-hmm.
just next to us,
Mm-hmm.
if she wants to write a book or become a speaker, do you think she has to model a woman, or she can do also with a man?
So I think, so first on the topic of modeling, you're absolutely right. It's the fastest way to learn because you're picking up patterns on all levels,
Yeah,
right? And by the way, women are particularly good at learning that way. Because we're multidimensional, we are picking up patterns and information from everywhere more consciously than men are. So modeling is a great way for women to learn. You don't necessarily have to model after a woman. What you have to model after is somebody who embodies the way of being that you want to adopt. Now, you can do that two ways. You can find somebody who most completely embodies the way you'd like to move through business and life. Or let's say, for example, you're just trying to develop a particular skill. All you have to do, and again, this is the power of choice over decision, right? All you have to do is recognize that what I'm learning from Paul Lemberg is how to think about strategy in this certain way. My whole self doesn't have to become him to learn that, right? I can maintain my own feminine power base, understand who I am, and that I am acquiring a valuable skill, a way of being that he has a strength in that I don't have. And I can let that part of me model that part of him without
Yeah.
losing the rest of me.
yeah, I love that because I see a difference between Julie and me, and I think it's not because of the sex, maybe the typology of personality. It's more easy for me to learn from someone without being wanted to be like him.
Yes,
Just to
yes.
focus on one skill. I would like to learn from Obama how to speak,
Yes.
and in my opinion, Julie struggles sometimes to find a kind of mentor because there's something wrong in his personality. So I can't have a model.
Yes.
So you are suggesting to learn to just focus on one skill, and you are not have to become like
Yes.
him.
Yes, and the way that you can do that, because just saying, hey, just learn to focus on one skill,
Because it's easier for me.
it's easy for you to say and it's easy for you to do, but from, and I don't know Julie, but I do know women. From the feminine perspective, that is impossible advice to implement. However, when you're taking that advice from the perspective of harness the power of choice, as opposed to decision. So decision says, just focus on that one quality of his and only model that and don't think about the rest of this. We're not wired that way, right? However, say to us, take everything in, select that which works for you and let the rest go. That we can do.
Great, I love that.
Yeah.